I'm not going to sit here and tell you crochet is just for grandmas making blankets on a Sunday afternoon. That idea is old and honestly kind of wrong. What crochet can do for a home right now in this exact year is something most people have no idea about. Some of the pieces I'm going to show you today look like they belong in a fancy design magazine, and they cost almost nothing to make. So stick with me because this is going to change how you see every empty corner, every plain wall, and every boring couch in your house. Let's talk about the real problem first. Most homes today look the same. You walk into one living room, then another and another, and they all have the same store-bought pillows, the same mass-produced throw blankets, the same wall art that was printed 1,000 times in some factory. There's nothing wrong with that stuff, but it doesn't feel personal. It doesn't feel like a story. It feels like everyone just went to the same big box store and picked from the same 5 options. And on top of that, good quality home decor is expensive. A simple woven wall hanging can cost you $60 or more, and a decent throw blanket can run you over 100. So people end up settling. They buy the cheap version that looks a little flat, a little plastic, a little cold. That's the real problem. Homes are full of things, but they don't feel warm. They don't feel like they belong to the person living there. This is where crochet comes in, and I promise you, once you see what's possible, you're not going to want the store-bought version anymore. Let's start with something simple. Throw pillows. I know that sounds basic, but crochet pillow covers are a completely different animal compared to what you find in stores. Picture a soft cream-colored pillow with a raised textured pattern, almost like little bumps and waves running across it, catching the light in a way flat fabric never could. That texture alone makes a couch look expensive. Now, picture a deep green pillow with a simple lace edge sitting next to a plain linen pillow. That contrast between the smooth fabric and the detailed crochet edge instantly makes a room feel put together, like someone actually thought about the design instead of just grabbing whatever was on sale. Now let's move to something bigger. Blankets. Everyone thinks of the classic granny square blanket when they hear crochet. And yes, that style still looks amazing when it's done right with the right colors, but there's a whole new world of blanket designs now. There are blankets made with corner to corner that create a picture, like a sunset or a mountain range, or even a simple geometric pattern that looks like something from a modern art store. There are blankets made with thick, chunky yarn that looks so soft and heavy, just draped over the back of a couch, that they instantly make a room feel cozy the second you walk in. Imagine coming home on a cold evening, and instead of grabbing a thin store-bought throw, you wrap yourself in a thick, handmade blanket that took hours of care to create. That feeling is something you cannot buy off a shelf. Let's talk about walls now, because this is where things start to get really interesting. Crochet wall hangings have become a huge trend, and for good reason. Picture a large circular piece made with cream and tan yarn with long fringe hanging down at the bottom, almost like a sun with rays coming off of it. Hung above a bed or a couch, it becomes the main focus of the whole room. Or picture something more detailed, like a crochet mandala with rings of color spiraling out from the center, hung in a hallway where natural light hits it during the day. These pieces have depth. They have texture you can actually see and feel, not just a flat print stuck behind glass. That's something a regular framed poster can never give you. Now let's go smaller, but just as powerful. Plant hangers. If you have plants in your house, and most people do these days, a plain plastic pot sitting on a shelf looks boring. But a crochet plant hanger made with simple knots and loops, holding that same pot up in the air near a window, completely changes the vibe. It turns a plain plant into something that looks like it belongs in a cozy little reading nook. Add 2 or 3 of these at different heights, and suddenly you have what people online call a plant corner, and it looks like something out of a home design account with thousands of followers. Let's talk about baskets, too. Storage doesn't have to be boring. A lot of people use ugly plastic bins to store blankets, magazines, or kids' toys, but a crochet basket made with thick rope or chunky yarn holds the same stuff while looking like an actual decoration. Picture one sitting next to the couch holding extra blankets in a soft oatmeal color with a simple woven handle. It's functional, but it also looks intentional, like it was chosen, not just shoved into a corner to hide clutter. And here's a small one that people forget about: coasters and table runners. A crochet table runner running down the center of a dining table with a simple lace pattern along the edges makes even a plain wooden table look special. Add a few crochet coasters underneath your cups, maybe in a color that matches the runner, and suddenly your dinner table looks like it's set for something important, even on a regular Tuesday night. Now, here's where it gets really exciting, because I want to tell you about one specific project that changes everything. Picture a living room that used to feel plain. Beige walls, a basic couch, one lamp in the corner, nothing special. Now picture adding just one large crochet piece to that room. Not a small pillow, not a small coaster. I'm talking about a big, bold crochet rug placed right in front of the couch. Thick, round, made with layers of color that blend into each other like a sunset. Soft under your feet every single time you walk across it. That one piece changes the entire feeling of the room. Suddenly, the couch doesn't look plain anymore because your eyes are drawn to the rug first. The lamp doesn't look like it's just sitting there alone anymore because now there's warmth and color pulling the whole space together. One handmade piece, and the whole room feels like it has a soul. That's the real magic of crochet home decor. It's not about filling your house with 100 different things. It's about picking a few pieces that actually mean something, that took real time and real hands to create, and letting those pieces do the heavy lifting. A store-bought throw pillow was made in a factory by a machine, thousands of miles away with zero thought behind it other than selling a product. A crochet pillow, even a simple one, was made stitch by someone who chose that color, chose that pattern, and put actual time into it. You can feel that difference the second you touch it. And honestly, you can see that difference the second you walk into the room. And here's something people don't expect. Making these pieces yourself is not as hard as it looks. You don't need to start with a giant blanket or a complicated wall hanging. You can start with something small, like a single coaster or a simple pillow cover, and build up from there. Every big, beautiful piece you saw today started with someone who once made their very first small square and had no idea what they were doing. That's the fun part, watching yourself get better with every single project. So here's what I want you to take from all of this. Your home doesn't need more stuff. It needs pieces with actual meaning behind them. A soft handmade pillow, a warm blanket you can wrap yourself in, a wall hanging that catches the light just right, a rug that turns a plain room into something people actually want to sit in. These are the things that turn a house into a home, not another trip to a store to buy something everyone else already has. If you want to see exactly how to make any of the pieces I talked about today, step by step, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next video.